Welcome to the show, everyone. You know, I am going to be introducing a very nice person now that I have had on my show the last probably about a year and a half. I can't remember exactly. Is it a year?
It's
Or
been a year. It's been over a
Wow.
year.
You know, I have Theresa, how do you say it?
Kiernan.
Kiernan. I didn't have my paperwork in front of me, otherwise I would have done it right. She's with DRYLUX Restoration. Nicest person, even though I said her name wrong. See how she's laughed at it?
I have to
She's so
giggle
sweet.
because she does know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I love about you is that you are one of the good ones, one of the people that I just absolutely love that we connected.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
You have to say that. I can't even believe it's already the second week of January.
Doesn't she look fabulous? She had a little break. She looks absolutely
Thank you.
fabulous.
She's a
It's so
sweetheart.
good to be here.
And you know what? I want to talk about restoration, and I know you took your time to write things out, but I'm going to do it my way if it's okay with
absolutely.
you. Because the first thing we want to talk about is DRYLUX, because they've been around for 18 years, over 18 years in the Valley, and they are really trying to get the word out about their company, because when things go bad, and water, we've talked about water, we've talked about fire, we've talked about people who pass away, so all sorts of
Right,
things.
there's biohazard, there's many things. You have the storm, the mold. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into restoration, and it's funny because when you say restoration, some folks do not realize the difference between, say, auto restoration and when it comes to a home. And it kind of catches them off guard, because when I say restoration, they go, "Oh, you do cars?" It's like, no, this has to do with home. And then you kind of really explain. They're like, oh, now I know.
You know what I
so it's
love
a light
about
bulb
you
that does
too?
go off.
When you are working with Theresa, and it's the first person that you really should call when something that goes wrong.
Absolutely.
And the reason why is because, number one, you have been in their shoes. You have had a lot. You've had floods a couple of times now.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And you know you had to have had somebody to come in there, so you've walked in their shoes.
Absolutely.
You are the most caring person.
You have to be.
You really, you take it to heart, every single one of the people that call you.
Yeah, it's devastating with the homeowner because they're not sure what to do. You're caught off guard. Your home, unfortunately, we're gonna go with a water leak, especially with the rain we've had lately. There were a lot of flood notifications that I received, and all through the valley. And we are statewide. The valley really got hit hard. And then a little bit farther east as well, but you do not know what to do. All of a sudden you see, say a bubble from your ceiling, or you see your wall discolored, and it's going all the way down the wall to the floor. There's so many factors come in, but a homeowner, your first reaction, who am I gonna call? Some will contact their insurance company. Some will automatically look in the phone book. They might call a plumber. They might call a roofer, HVAC guy, a friend, a contractor to come out and look, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you have significant water damage because of a storm, and then your home's torn up. So then
it has to be fixed.
Then it has to be fixed, because of course in Arizona with the heat, mold can immediately start. Black mold is horrible, but you want to make sure you stop that process for further damage, because it can. The more saturated and the longer it goes on without that attention, the worse it's going to be for us as a homeowner.
The other thing is that you have worked in the insurance side of things.
Correct.
So Now, one thing that we're gonna do is, first we wanna say hi to everybody out there on
Hi.
Facebook, but I do wanna say this. We've talked about this many times. You have a deductible, and your deductible is probably high.
Some can be significantly higher. So like I've heard in some cases, especially with the cost of insurance, the rates are going up, so folks are increasing those. So say for instance, you have something happen, you call us to come in, it's gonna be a job that's gonna be lower than what your deductible is. It is so much better for you to pay for that out of pocket opposed to filing that claim, because you're still going to be subject to that deductible and paying out of pocket, plus it's going to be a ding with your insurance. even if you don't file a claim, the minute you call, that call is documented, and it's, you know, it is what it is, but a lot of times it's better call the experts, find out what it is. If you have significant damage, that might be different. If you have $25,000-$30,000 worth of damage, which is 100% possible, then that is different.
Mhm.
You know, even if you do not have insurance, we do offer ways to help you pay for that work to be done when it comes to mitigation and the rebuild.
They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They do free in-home estimates, and they're saying, call them. Let them come in, let the experts come in and give you an estimate to see what's going on, because if it's gonna be lower than your deductible, you might as well do it that way first, because most people do. I'm gonna call my insurance company.
That's the first initial instinct to call. The quotes are free, call the expert, get that free quote so you're not dinged on that.
Their phone number to call, we're gonna give you Teresa's, because she's just a doll and you're gonna love talking to her. Her phone number is 480-750-8220, it's extension 220. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Like I said, they do free in-home estimates. They're located in Gilbert, but they work statewide. They're 24/7, they are here to help you. And I wanted to bring in this really quickly. You are both residential and commercial. Their website is DRYLUX.com. But you yourself, I know this for a fact, also handle fire, right?
Yes,
And when I say 24/7, you have been out there at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever
I have
time.
gone out the late nights.
Yeah, and to go and you were there, you made this bear for them to give to the kids, you got blankets because people they're in shock, and you did that, and you got coloring books for the kids to keep them, you know, like.
You have to keep them occupied.
Yeah, because you know what? They're sad, and that's what Teresa's all about, helping you when you are sad, when you have something going wrong from flood, from water, from fire, right?
Right.
We talked about mold, what else
We
is
do
there?
mold, if you have storm,
Mhm.
you know, so any
Oh.
biohazard
Yeah,
is another
people
one.
don't talk about that very often, I love to.
It's difficult, but you never realize, and again, when it comes to that restoration, what a restoration company does, such as ours. And, you know, it's good to explore, it's good to understand what we do and when you're gonna need us, because you honestly might need us and might not
They're
really
all about-
realize it until you see these signs.
They're all about quality and experience. Their phone number, her number to call direct, it's 480-750-8220, extension 220, and it's DRYLUX.com, that's DRY and then LUX.com. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call her when something goes wrong at 480-750-8220.
A lot of fires.
You're lucky we're live right now.
A lot of fires. Do you know, when was the last time you had your dryer vent or your vents in your bathroom cleaned out?
I don't even know. We should do that. We should come
Well,
back
that's
and talk
next.
about that.
But honest to God,
Yeah,
I'm horrified to leave mine on.
yeah.
Because
don't
I
anymore.
have not had mine cleaned out yet.
Yeah, you know what, I had a guy here that used to come and do that, right? That was something, that was his job. And he talked about that. And it's amazing, a lot of people will go put their dryer on, right? And it hasn't been cleaned. And they'll go to wherever, do whatever, and they come home and there's a fire.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because a lot of those, and honestly with my calls, that is, you know, dryer vent fire. Turning on your heat for the first time. Making sure your AC, your heater and everything is okay with that initial, oh yeah.
That's what you call maintenance.
It is maintenance. A lot of people avoid that though,
Mhm.
and they shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
Yeah.
They should also figure
I
it out.
neglected it because I didn't have, thank God I've never, knock on wood, had a fire, but the more you go out and the more you see what happens,
It's
just,
just eye-opening.
you second guess every little thing that you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Eye-opening, exactly.
Lithium batteries, there was another
Oh, that's
fire
right.
last night,
Get my pen.
I think it was last night, was it Saturday last night?
No,
They lost
that
the
was Sunday
whole,
last night.
there was one, Indian school, oh my goodness, I cannot remember the street, but again, lithium batteries from a scooter,
From a scooter.
yes. That is
Wow.
a huge thing. And it just, any lithium batteries left somewhere, if they have lithium batteries, they need to put
We're
them
gonna
away.
talk about this.
It is, they actually, because of I've done a lot, those ride-alongs, talking to the fire inspectors and everything, they actually have an investigation on lithium batteries, like, I mean, my thought is, they always said, put them in a freezer or a refrigerator. If lithium batteries get hot, what happens?
But how can you put that in the refrigerator?
A lithium battery?
Yeah.
Think about what's a lithium battery. You have lithium batteries in flashlights, your phones.
Here we go.
Anything that has lithium battery on it, battery chargers, there's so many. You could Google it and see how many devices hold a lithium battery.
But each one is a different size.
Exactly, yeah, you just have to be adherent to the size and know how you should store them technically.
Especially here in the.
And
the
exactly,
desert.
yeah, especially in the heat. It's horrible. I could talk forever about that, it's amazing.
So welcome back. At the break, we always talk to Facebook land out there, so that's what we've been doing. And one of the things that we've been talking about is because Theresa has gone out to these fires. She's been on, why do you call them, fire chasers is what they call, or something like that.
I've gone on fire runs with the fire departments actually, which I want to say thank you to all of those folks. Thank you to everybody for your service. Firemen, first responders, the credit that should go out to them is, I just think it's amazing. I mean,
You've been there
you can never
firsthand.
give, I can never give them enough because I've seen it firsthand.
One of
you
the
know.
things that you said, Carol, is that they are, it's so eye-opening to see when you go there and you see these people who have lost everything,
Yes.
And you said that, like, a lot of your calls that you get are from dryer vents. Right? And the other thing was bathroom vents.
Bathroom vents,
Mhm.
your bathroom vents, lithium batteries,
We're gonna talk about
Huge.
lithium batteries.
outlets. When you have a spider, we have the one outlet plugged in and you got 25 cords to that.
Yeah.
Especially if it goes, those as well. Especially, we're getting out of the holiday season right now, to where honestly, the decline I've seen, it's happened because a lot of those, are unplugged. There's trees that are unplugged, the trees are, so it ties in with your Christmas lights, but outlets as well. Making
There's
sure your electric's up to code.
And the other thing too is when we talk about these lithium batteries, and they're almost in so many things now,
Correct.
that knowing how to store them, and I wonder if everybody does take a look and see that, or if they give you that paperwork on that. I don't even know, but maybe they do and maybe they don't.
Right.
But here's the thing, guys, everybody it can happen to anybody, and that is what we want to talk about. Bad things happen to good people, and when things like this happen, you need to know who to call, and you also did something else that's phenomenal. I think it's out there in that packet that I put out there, that you have a whole who to call, what to do, step by step. Yeah, you wanna go get it? Step by step as to what to do. She made this book, and everybody should literally have this book in their, in their kitchen.
Right.
Or wherever.
Here it is.
This is it. I'm gonna have it, I'm gonna show it to Facebook land out there. It's
That's right.
fire, water, storm, mold. We service the greater Phoenix area, Tucson, and also.
Yavapai
I can't
County,
even
all
say
over,
it.
it's the state of Arizona.
Yeah.
We've covered Arizona. And we do have sister companies also in other states. I've referred out to a lot of the folks, to our sister companies out in Chicago, that I've had family out there and friends that have had significant water damage.
So in
And
here,
they've
you've got
helped.
things like this.
Right.
the first essential steps after a home fire, why DRYLUX Restoration and what they do for you, property loss tips. There's all sorts of things here that everybody should have when something happens. You don't just pick up, I know it sounds like you should just pick up your insurance, phone number and call them, but if this is gonna be lower than your deductible, and many times it is.
A lot of times it is.
You
Like I
should just
said,
go out of
if
pocket.
there's significant damage, I mean, you're gonna know pretty much right away, especially when the company, when we come out and give you an estimate, we'll be able to go through that scope and, go through what damages and what needs to be done, to where you can make that determination. And we do also work with insurance companies as well. We can be, you're in between to help you with that mitigation.
You need the help, and
Yeah.
you have to have somebody who is an expert. They bring quality and experience to you. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. And maybe it's not today, but put the phone number in your phone. That's why you should have this booklet. Everybody should have it. And I'm gonna let everyone call throughout the rest of the show for it.
Absolutely.
At 602-277-5369. I totally believe that everybody should have something like this on hand, because we never know when it's gonna happen. Some of the other things, both residential and commercial, right?
Yes.
And what else would you like to talk about when it comes to restoration?
There's a lot of different things. With the water, we know that, with the floods that we've had just from the downpour of rain, which has been significant. Keep an eye out, always look, at your walls, look at your ceiling, look for discoloration, look for darker spots that are, up in your walls. The other thing is right in your bathroom areas.
I want to say that when you're looking at this and you see these discolorations and all of that, if you're not, some people I guess think the water's not coming through to my inside my house, it must be okay.
There's a reason for that, because say you have a roof leak, for instance, the water gets through, and believe me, water will find a way, it will get through. You have insulation, you have a barrier, a protectant barrier that's helping stop that, so it does find a way through walls. Believe me, I know that.
She's experienced
I've
it.
experienced it, and as shocked as I was to see, I never had a clue, but it does happen. There's significant damage on the inside, and if you're not paying attention, or if you see the wall is a little bit damp, a red flag. There's certain specific odors, musty odors, smell like, if you sense, oh my gosh, it smells like there's a wet dog in here, immediately get that checked out. Those are signs that you need something looked at. Specific areas.
One of the things that you wanted to talk about was mitigation, and you're a full restoration and reconstruction company.
Right.
That you don't just, what makes you really different, I think that what you want to say is you don't just stop at the cleanup. Let's talk about that.
No, we do not just stop at the cleanup, so you do have to have that immediate cleanup. What we also do help with is we do come in and we also rebuild. We want to make sure that your home is put together as it was prior to that incident. I always say disaster, because for me it is a disaster. Anytime you have to have any type of mitigation work done because of a fire, a flood, mold damage, biohazard, we will put it as it was prior to. You need that rebuild. We'll also do a full rebuild as well.
I think that's important, because sometimes when you call a restoration company, now you think, okay, I gotta call somebody who's gonna rebuild this thing, they're gonna do the drywall, they're gonna paint, you're gonna have different people all going through. Having one person knowing from start to finish that they're gonna be there for you and do whatever needs to be repaired or replaced. That's what they're all about. That's what makes them different.
And yes, and we have like for me, when it's mine, or we have our project managers from start to finish. It is followed through on and gone through for everybody to make sure it is done and done correctly.
And this includes fire as well.
Correct.
Right?
Oh yes, fire as well.
Doesn't matter what.
Fire's a little bit harder, only because it's just, you don't believe how much smoke damage can do. you might have a small fire, but that smoke travels.
Oh, gosh, you know, one of the stories that I remember you telling me is that when you went to see somebody who had a fire, their whole entire house was
Yeah.
gutted, and their person's clothes, they had no clothes.
Right, they had no
And
clothes, they
they
lost
were,
all their
the
clothes.
only ones that they had were just, basically just, there was soot all over them, and they smelled. She goes out to wherever it was.
I went to Walmart, it was right down the street, they needed clothes.
She bought them
Right.
clothes
They needed
and
clothes.
things that she would need for at least a week. Nobody else is gonna do that. And that's what's having Theresa on your team
It's-
means.
I have to say that I became very good friends with those folks.
Mm.
It was very unique, they were very lucky. That fire was around 5 AM in the morning, and, you know, they're very fortunate that they had gotten out. And in this case, you know, that was a cause of, lithium batteries were that.
Oh, really? Was that a lithium battery?
It was a lithium batteries
you
that
guys-
he actually had stored in one of the rooms next to another room, and that's how that fire happened.
Make sure that you know that they are stored correctly, and you can put this phone number in your phone. I think it's so important at 602, I'm sorry, I'm gonna give this one out, 480-750-8220. It's extension 220. Put it in your phone. Also, we're gonna let everyone call throughout the rest of the show to get this book. This is a fire, water, storm, and mold. It's from soup to nuts, A, B, C, everything that you need to know. She doesn't miss a thing when it comes to
It's
this.
so helpful.
Everybody should have this in their office, in their kitchen, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Maybe somebody just got married and got to buy a home. Give them this booklet. They should have it. Anybody who owns a home.
Anybody should have a booklet. When there are fires, even if it's not a full-fledged fire, I like to go out to deliver this booklet. Even if the folks aren't there because they have to go out, I leave a packet, but it is so helpful. It's so helpful.
They truly are like no other. They're there from the start to finish completely, and you have Theresa that's gonna help you and make you feel better when bad things happen. Again, the phone number to call her direct, it's 480-750-8220. It's extension 220. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They do free in-home estimates. You can check them out on their website. It's DRYLUX.com, both residential and commercial, 24/7. They are statewide, and they are who to call. And make sure that you call them first, because the minute that you call your insurance company, you're starting a claim, and you don't want to do that. Again, 480-750-8220.